Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to TopNoteByA. Today I have 10 fragrances to transition from winter to spring. Guys, if you guys are looking for that perfect transitional fragrance from winter to spring, then stay tuned. Let's discuss the 10 fragrances that are perfect to transition from winter to spring. Hello once again beautiful people, and welcome to TopNoteByA. Like the intro said, I do have these 10 fragrances that are perfect fragrances to transition from winter to spring. Some of these fragrances are designer, celebrity, niche, and also affordable Middle Eastern fragrances that are high performing fragrances. So let's start. But before we start, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you watching this, thumbs up the video. Do not forget to thumbs up the video and also leave comments in the comment section. But the first fragrance that we are talking about that will transition perfectly well from winter to spring is from Lattafa, and this is KHAMRAH. This fragrance is sweet, it's ambery, it's vanillic, gourmand, fruity, woody, performs very well, sweet on the skin, dries down very sweet and woody and vanillic. Don't you want that? Like, and it's perfect for a transitional fragrance. Very, very well performing fragrance. The fragrance has cinnamon, it has nutmeg, it also has amberwood, vanilla, tonka bean, and akagala wood. It is that good. This fragrance has been compared to By Kilian Angel Share. I feel like this fragrance, it's nothing like By Kilian Angel Share. By Kilian Angel Share, since I've been wearing this fragrance, I compared the two a lot, and I'm finding that By Kilian Angel Share is that pastry dessert fragrance, gourmand fragrance, whereby this one is like a more drinkable dessert fragrance. The pastry dessert has some booziness to it. This doesn't have any booziness to it. So I keep saying that these two fragrances are kissing cousins. They are not the same fragrance, but this particular fragrance by Lattafa, this KHAMRAH, performs very well, and you paying a fraction of the price to Angel Share. So yeah, make your choice. This is a very beautiful fragrance, and for me, the dry down is where this fragrance is at. That vanilla vibe that this fragrance gives you, that sweetness, that woodiness in the dry down that it gives you. And talk about people asking you what you are wearing. This is compliment getting fragrance. This gets you a lot of compliments. This, gets people doing 360, turning around and asking you, girl, what are you wearing? You smell delicious. And it's from Lattafa. This is KHAMRAH. Lattafa, the fragrance is everywhere. I can't stop spraying this fragrance. It's that good. I move on. The next fragrance is another Middle Eastern fragrance that I have in my collection, and I've been using this fragrance a lot. This fragrance doesn't have any vanilla in there. If I haven't mentioned, this is Casablanca by Swiss Arabian. This particular fragrance doesn't have any vanilla note that I can find, but whenever I put on this fragrance, it gives me that, it puts me in that gourmandish vanilla vibe. It has caramel, it has apple, it has grapefruit in there, performs very well. It layers very well with KHAMRAH by Lattafa. So layer these two fragrances, and the longevity will be like all day plus a day. Lasts very long, performs very well, very inexpensive. Buy it from Amazon, get your compliments on. This also gets you a lot of compliments when you put on this fragrance, especially if you spray heavy. It gives you a lot of compliments. When the fragrance dries down, this dries down to that sweet caramel, caramel, and then it gives you that vanilla vibe when this fragrance dries down. The opening is very fresh, the opening is very fruity and sweet, but the dry down it's more that sweetness from caramel, and then it's a little bit woody when the fragrance dries down. So yeah, perfect transitional fragrance from winter to spring. I move on. The next fragrance that I want to discuss with you guys is from BDK, and this is Passé Soir. Passé Soir has ginger, it's fruity, it's woody, it has black pepper, it's spicy, it's warm. It's a fragrance that is not loud, it's not overbearing, it's not overpowering, but it's a fragrance that works in the cold, and it's a fragrance that transitions very well into spring and beyond. It's a fragrance that also gets you a lot of compliments when you wear it. It gets you a lot of compliment. The black pepper in here, it's so beautiful. It's blended very well. It has this refreshing vibe whenever you put on this fragrance. And as we are transition from the cold, cold bone cold chilly weather all the way to that brightness of spring, you do need something bright, you do need something to up your spirits to transition from the chilling cold to that brightness of spring. And I feel like Passé Soir is the perfect fragrance for that. I move on. The next fragrance that we are discussing, it's a niche fragrance, and it's from the house of Tiziana Terenzi, and this is DELOX. DELOX is rosy, it's sweet, it's vanillic, it's coffee, it's ambre, performs very, very well. But yeah, you want that coffee to wake you up. So, you want that, coffee wakes you up. So spring is like bright, it's like it's a new beginning, it's a new awakening. So I chose DELOX to transition from winter to spring. And this fragrance performs, it is a Tiziana Terenzi fragrance. I'm holding it like this because the cap is not capping. Guys, the cap is not capping, so I have to be careful whenever I'm holding this fragrance. The cap is not capping at all. But for the price that I got this, I will hold it like this all day, every day. This fragrance, once again, performs very, very well. The coffee in here is not the leading role, but then you sense the coffee in here. You do get the coffee vibes, but it's not like the coffee in here for me, it's not coffee, it's not like black coffee. It's more of a coffee with a little bit of evaporated milk in there. Even though I don't get any creaminess or lactonic notes in the fragrance, I get like you added a little bit of evaporated milk to instant coffee. That's the coffee note that I get from this fragrance, and I said it performs very, very well, and it will wake you up. So I feel like you need to have a new awakening during the spring. So this is the perfect fragrance to transition from winter to spring. Moving on. Next fragrance is from Al Aramin, and this is called JUNOON Noir. The fragrance has kumquat, it has lime, it has vanilla, it has sandalwood. The fragrance is woody, is citrusy, is fruity, performs very, very well. It's very fresh. It's a fragrance that cuts through the winter cold, but because of the freshness and the citrusness of the fragrance, it will transition perfectly well into the spring months. The fragrance also is a compliment getter. The fragrance turns heard. It performs very well, it lasts very well. Sillage is amazing, longevity is amazing, it checks all the box. So yeah, this is another perfect transitional fragrance, and it's Middle Eastern and it's very affordable. I move on. Another fragrance is Bryant Park by Bond No. 9. This fragrance is the perfect fragrance to transition from winter to spring. The fragrance is a little green, it's woody, it's floral, It's ambery, it's pink pepper, so it's spicy. You know, it has patchouli in there. Patchouli is in the middle of the fragrance. It dries down very beautifully to this a little bit earthy patchouli vibe, a little green, fruity, woody fragrance. So it is the perfect fragrance because of the greenness in there, the perfect fragrance to transition from winter to spring. It cuts through the cold, but it's also green, and it will, you know, or it does transition very well to spring. You want that greenness, you want that freshness, you want that fruity sweet vibe to transition you from that heavy fragrances that we've been wearing during the winter months to something that is sweet and floral and green, patchouli, and a little spicy. I move on. I have a celebrity fragrance that is also inexpensive and it performs very well. This fragrance is not a heavy vanilla fragrance. It's not a heavy gourmand smelling fragrance, but I feel like because of that, it's perfect to transition this vanilla fragrance, this sweet vanilla fragrance, from winter to spring. Once again, this is Billie Eilish, that can be bought from Ulta. A little powdery, warm, sweet vanilla fragrance that I feel like is the perfect transitional fragrance. I move on. Guys, since this is winter and we are transitioning from winter to spring, I'm choosing Serge Lutens Un Boy Vanille. This fragrance gets you compliments upon compliments upon compliments. Sillage is there, longevity is there. It checks all the boxes. It's coconutty, it's balsamic, it's powdery, it's ambery. It has sandalwood, it has bitter almonds. It also has vanilla, you know, somewhere in there it has vanilla. Of course, the name is Un Boy Vanille. It's a very beautiful, high performing fragrance. It's a niche house fragrance. This is considered niche house if I'm not mistaken. And for the price that you're paying, is affordable. So this list, it's more affordable fragrances that, you know, you can transition from spring, from winter to spring, depending on where you buy these fragrances. I'm telling you, none of these fragrances that I have was bought full price. All the fragrances, with the exception of the Billie Eilish, was bought with some percentage off. I got a percentage of this. I got a percentage of Passé Soir from I got this Passé Soir. I got it from So Avant-Garde, and I got it for 30% off. So yeah, this is the perfect transitional fragrance because you want that vanilla, you want that warmth, you want that gourmandish vibe for the winter months, but you also still want to carry that through to spring. And if you want to carry that vibe from winter to spring, then guys, Un Boy Vanille is your guy. Un Boy Vanille is that fragrance for you. I move on. Will I do a transitional fragrance from winter to spring without talking about Nishane Annie? This fragrance is the it girl. This is the fragrance that can be layered with so many different fragrances. So it still gives you that warm, cozy, vanilla, you know, gourmand vibe from winter, but then you're carrying that to spring. The fragrance performs, the fragrance lasts. Like I said, the fragrance is a fragrance that can be layered with so many different fragrances. You know, it's warm, it's vanillic, it's spicy, it's, you know, it's zingy from the ginger in there. It's a fragrance that performs very well. I said that already. It performs very, very well. It dries down beautifully. It dries down beautifully when you spray it. It has this latonic vibes in the dry down that you just want to scratch it and just suck on it. This is what Annie does. It has this latonic vanilla ice cream vibe with a little bit of ginger, you know, that zinginess of ginger mixing there, and you just want to scratch and just suck on it. That is Nishane Annie, and I feel like it will transition perfectly well to spring and beyond. I move on. So guys, you want to carry this heavy, you know, lavender vanilla vibe from winter to spring. So spring night, you want something cozy, you want something heavy, you want something that, you know, will cut through all the cold. So yeah, you want YSL Libre La Parfum. The fragrance has ginger, it has saffron, it has mandarin, it has bergamot. Middle of the fragrance has lavender, it has bourbon, vanilla, honey, tonka bean, and vetiver. Yeah, you want something, you know, a little bit floral, honey, sweet, balsamic. You want that for the winter, but then you want that for that spring night that is cozy, is cold. You're going out, you're going on a date, you want to take a fragrance that is cozy, you know, a little vanilla, a lot vanilla, a lot lavender, but not overpowering lavender like the Libre Intense. You know, you want something sexy, you want something cool, you want something bold. This is the girl for you. YSL Libre La Parfum. I move on. So if you made it to the end, guys, these are the 10 fragrances that I have in my collection, or some of the 10 fragrances I have in my collection that are the perfect transitional fragrance from winter to spring. If you agree with me, leave me a comment in the comment section. If you don't, also leave me a comment in the comment section. Until I see you on another video, stay blessed, smell fabulous, and bye for now.